These CCTV images show Leah Croucher not far from her home in Milton Keynes the day she was reported missing.
Leah went missing from her home in Emerson Valley in Milton Keynes on February the 15th, 2019. Leah's parents described her as shy, but as she grew into a young lady, she became more happy and more confident with the things that she'd done. Leah's father described her as genuinely happy. Leah enjoyed doing taekwondo with her father and her brother, and she also enjoyed speaking to her friends online and writing short stories.
You are able to see or hear this, please, please, please come home. You're not in any trouble, because we love you so much. We want our beautiful, wonderful little girl to come home. If there's something bothering you, we can help you to fix it. You're not alone. You will never be alone as long as me and Dad are here.
Leah was last seen on the 14th of February at 10 p.m. on Quantuck Crescent with her family. The following day, the 15th of February, 8:15 a.m. on Buzzacott Lane, Leah was seen walking in this direction, supposedly walking to work. 30 minutes later, there were reported sightings of Leah at Teardrop Lakes.
Late today after those two unconfirmed sightings of Leah here last Friday morning. They're searching the water, they're also searching the surrounding area, looking for any...
It wasn't long before rumours started spreading that Leah had been found safe and well and living rough on the streets of Manchester. Police can confirm that this is not Leah Croucher, as this young lady was saying to passers-by, "Please take a photo of me to show my mother that I am okay." Instantly, the members of public started to believe that this was Leah due to the sharp resemblance. It wasn't long before there was another potential sighting on a barn in Eaton Bray, 18 miles away from Leah's home in Milton Keynes. A member of the public was looking closely at the barn that could have been related to Leah's disappearance. However, the police have ruled it out. The previous picture of the barn had been taken 1 month after Leah vanished. However, once the picture was reported to the police, Google Earth was soon to update the picture to the current one above. Recently, from the end of November into the start of December 2021, this photo emerged as a photographer was taking photos of Thurston Lake the morning that Leah went missing. Could this picture above be Leah walking with her rucksack? If the silhouette in the picture is Leah, this is the first bit of evidence to show that Leah Croucher walked that part of the lake at 8:20 a.m. on the 15th of February 2019. This also shows that Leah had no intentions of turning up to work. In the images, there are also pictures of passers-by who could be key witnesses to the event. In recent months, there have also been a witness come forward about a black car leaving Thurston Lake in a hurry, where the driver appeared to be pushing down the passenger in the passenger seat aggressively. Could this have been Leah?
Today, her sister Jade says as the days turn into months since her little sister's disappearance, it's hard to stay hopeful.
No words could really describe how hard it is. I think the worry that you feel is just immeasurable. You can't compare it to anything else that you've been through in life, because in life you do suffer losses or heartache or sadness. This is different to all of that. You don't have any answers.
Leah's disappearance sparked an extensive police operation, which included a search of Teardrop Lake after reports of sightings of Leah there. Police also released these images of clothing similar to the one she was wearing in the hope it jogs someone's memory. But for Leah's family who've been waiting for news, another appeal for help in finding her.
To anyone that might have information on Leah, I would beg them, please come forward. My family are living a nightmare, and that's the only way we can describe it. And I would hope that people would find it in their heart that if they did have that information, to help to end this nightmare. If Leah's listening to this, I just want her to know that how loved she is. She's loved beyond measure. She's missed so much. and there is nothing more that we want right now than for Leah to come home.
Now we know for a sure fact that Leah had plans to go on holiday with her family, her parents and her siblings, and obviously that never did happen. But the strange thing about it is, if someone is planning to go missing and to never be found again, they don't really ever plan anything or do anything on the lead up to their disappearance. They will not bother as they don't see the point, whereas Leah decided to go holiday shopping, get some clothes, and she was really getting excited on the build up to this holiday, as any person would do, but especially a teenager or a child. So the fact that she has planned this holiday and has probably paid for it already and is ready to go and can't wait and is talking to her parents about it, it's strange that she's just vanished, and there was no solid evidence that she had any idea that she wanted to disappear. There was no search history on her phone to suggest maybe suicide or maybe just vanishing. There was no evidence, no search history on her phone whatsoever to suggest that, according to the police. Now, there's one more thing, and Leah being a teenager, most teenagers these days are on their phone 24/7, and whether they're talking to their friends or whatever, Leah used to love talking to her friends, whether it was a phone call or text messages, or she'd constantly be typing away to her friends and really enjoying her time and having a great time with her friends online. She'd also like to read short stories and even write her own short stories and publish them online. Now that is something that is actually incredible, and for someone that had a hobby like that, not to reconnect her phone to her settings is really odd for someone who, enjoys reading and writing her own stories and talking to friends. It's strange how that can just, stop. And it's almost as if, me as a teenager, if I tried to go missing, for example, I wouldn't be able to do it because I wouldn't know that I'd have to turn off certain settings so I can't be traced. I'd just imagine that if my phone was off, you wouldn't get traced at all that way. But obviously that is not true, so it's almost like someone's actually someone has helped her with this, unless she does know and she's clued up with all of the technology, etc. But also, it's a difficult one. You can't assume that she wouldn't know what to do. But I'm guessing that she just didn't seem like the type of person to do that. And obviously, there's so many different things in the whole investigation that doesn't add up, and certain people, i.e. Mr. X, has connections to someone that used to live in the barn, apparently in Eaton Bray. So the fact that the police hasn't looked into that any further really baffles me. Apparently somewhere along the line, Mr. X and the lady in the barn had some sort of drug problem, but the police have obviously ruled it out for a reason, so they clearly don't think that is an issue. But I know that people are concerned, and that place needs to be going over again, and they need to go over that again, basically, the Eaton Bray barn, and investigate it further, whether it's the barn or the surrounding areas of the barn, or whether it's the lady that used to live there or whatever. I feel like the community believe that they've been let down somewhat by the police force, but then again, it's a hard situation for them as well, because they have limited resources, limited amount of police officers, etc. So the community have now stepped in to really boost the whole investigation and to bring it to light again as such, and to not let the whole story die down, to keep it going. And they are 100% determined to find whatever happened to Leah. They're determined to find out the truth of what really happened, and I'm sure that they'll get there one day, especially with the public getting involved now. It seems to be picking up pace a lot more, the story, so that's absolutely fantastic. But as I say, this is our first video, and I'm going to definitely make more, so if there's any more news on Leah that comes out, there will be another video, hopefully better quality than this, and so on. But of course, like any outro of a missing persons video, if you have any information or have any suspected sightings or anything that you find suspicious, whether it's someone that's saying something that makes you think that's strange, or whether it's a picture or something, report it to the police or Finding Leah group. Thank you and good night.